everyone. Welcome to the first episode of the Swan Suite Podcast, where we discuss important topics with women in the arts. My name is Alexandria Morgan. I am a senior TV and film major freshman minor from Chicago, Illinois. Also sitting with us in this week, we have my sisters from the Talented 10 line. Please introduce yourselves, ladies.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Janae Roberson. My legacy name is Lee Chamberlain. I am a junior acting major, playwriting minor from Philly.
Hi, my name is Monique Barnes. My legacy name is Jada Pinkett Smith. I am a graduate of Howard University. My major was TV and
TV and film. TV and film.
Hey, it happens. It's technology. We all get it.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
And she said bye. I know, okay. Finish her bio up. Her major was TV and film, and she's from the DMV area.
Yes. And I forgot to also add that my legacy name is Miss Euzhan Palcy. And here we have, last but not least, my number 8 and our fellow sister, Miss Desiree Woodard. If you could please introduce yourself.
Desiree Woodard. Don't ask me when I graduated. It was in the 90s sometime. And my line name is Suzanne De Passe, and I'm a member of the Renaissance line.
Ah, yes. Well, welcome my fellow number 8 and Miss Suzanne De Passe. Okay. So this season, our theme are the 6 principles, which are creativity, sexuality, sisterhood, womanhood, unity, and discipline. And today we will be discussing breast cancer awareness and how it relates to the principle of discipline.
Okay.
So my first question for Ms. De Passe is, how did you manage to stay involved / stay on top of your career while going through chemo and your journey?
So I was actually really blessed. I work for the federal government. I work at the Library of Congress. I had a lot of friends who helped me with leave if I needed it. I didn't need it, but I also had my father who has helped me since I, with additional monies that I needed to deal with the things that I had to pay for. And then I also had the support of my sisters in various capacities. I have D.I.V.A sisters and I have other sisters and other organizations that have all been supportive of me. So that's how I really made it through.
We love the family support and the D.I.V.A support as well. It's such a strong bond.
Yes.
So that kind of brings us into our next question. How did your D.I.V.A roots inspire / persuade your journey? Because I can't imagine, kind of going through this journey. Well, I could, but yeah.
Well, having a strong support system is the thing that really got me through. And my D.I.V.A sisters that knew were willing to do whatever. And I do mean whatever. But so having that strong, they were really kind of my lean-to people, the people that I leaned to emotionally when I was going through some of my rougher times. So that's really how D.I.V.A really supported me, was just through their emotional support. And, making sure you have women that support you no matter what is what D.I.V.A has always provided for me. They provided for me in college and since then. And I know I don't know all of the younger D.I.V.As, but I would be willing to do the same for them because that's what happened for me.
Yeah. I love that. I don't want to get too off topic, but for like your last chemo treatment, like when you have to ring the bell, were some of your D.I.V.A sisters there with you?
No, because it was COVID times, ladies. It was COVID times.
This was during COVID.
It's COVID times. Yes, I did all this during COVID times. But here's what did happen. Miss Thing here walked in all black. I had this big poofy skirt, full-length skirt. I had a headband that had rhinestones coming down it and a black rhinestone top. So it was fabulous. And then after my last treatment was over, I went and changed into my fuchsia skirt and my t-shirt that said, cancer picked the wrong D.I.V.A. So Diva was with going in fuchsia and my Cancer Picked the Wrong Diva t-shirt when I came out. So Diva was with me, even though all the divas couldn't be with me. They were with me. They just didn't know it. Y'all were with me. Y'all just didn't know it.
Oh, we need pics. We need pics.
Oh, I
We need
got
all
them.
the pics.
I posted them on Facebook. That's all over the place.
Yes.
The pictures going in. I was not playing.
I remember you sent me your last day of chemo pic, and I said okay with the fuchsia and the black.
That's right. That's right. I was not playing with them. I was like, Cancer picked the wrong one. Shit. I'm sorry, but they did. They picked the wrong one. And and that was part of it. I mean, knowing that there is much more to me than that was a moment. That was a moment. And it was one of the things that, Diva kind of prepped you for, because when you go into the arts, it's not an easy field. I mean, I don't know, y'all didn't have Professor Henry, but they don't call it business show for no reason. It's a business, and it's a hard business. And, you really have to kind of like steel yourself to be in that business. And that level of steel that you can have in your back, in fact, it's funny, my back, Desiree De Passe, she told me, she's Angela Winbush. And what she told me was a long time ago, you got to know that there's something greater than you to get through this business, to deal with this business, because this business will break you. Well, cancer can try and do that too. So Diva really kind of prepped me for that, in the 90s, because it gave me the steel.
We lost you again.
It's okay. She'll come back. I'm into it. Like Diva gave her the still. Yes. Yes. Tell us more.
Nothing but bags. And
Back. There we go.
Yes.
So what I said was, yeah, somebody ain't stopping me today. Thank you very much. Diva helped prep me. I mean, the military did too, but Diva helped prep me in a different way. And so, you have to have that steel in your back. You have to know that there's something greater than you. Like I said, Desiree De Passe, Angela Winbush, she made that comment years ago that in this business, you got to know there's something greater than you that you have to hold yourself accountable to, or else you will fall for anything. And the same with this. I mean, when I lost my hair, y'all, I cried like a baby. But guess what? I went through it. And then next thing you knew, I finally got my henna tattoo. I had a henna tattoo towards the top of my scalp, and it was beautiful. And I mean, I had nurses looking for me so they could see my henna tattoo.
so powerful, Mer.
That sounds so beautiful. I'm like,
It was. I'm going to admit it. I'm prepped. I'm prepped to cut it again so I can do it again. Oh,
Or you're better than me, because when I went through chemo and I had to cut off my hair, I cried like a baby. I was just like, I'm ready for my hair to grow back.
I cried too. I cried because it just came out and one day. It was just, I combed it and it was just like gone. And I just cried, and I went downstairs, got my dad's clippers and cut it. And it was like, I'm sitting there and I have a thing over here in my mirror that Tanya Garnett said to me. It says, pour yourself a drink, put on some lipstick, and pull yourself together. But trust me, y'all gonna hear it multiple times before I go. Y'all gonna hear it. So remember, on those moments, on those days, go in there, beat your face, put on your best outfit, and look in the mirror and remember who the heck you are.
Yeah.
Because you didn't go through all of this life, not just diva, but life, to let whatever come at you. Because trust me, as bad as we think any one situation is, somebody's got it worse and they're coming with it. And so we can do the same. And, and by the way, if you ever need that reminder, call me, Because I'll remind you, you don't get to just talk to my diva sister like that. I just, you know, I don't know what your head be saying, but my diva sister, you don't get to come for her like that.
That was truly like such beautiful and powerful advice. Especially the henna tattoo and just like all of what you said just really resonates.
And I would have done it multiple times if I had had more times, but I was like, I loved it. I love having that henna tattoo. It looked great. And I didn't have to do nothing to it, which was even better. But now it's cold. It's going to be cold this winter, so I need something on the head. I'm sorry. I know I'm taking y'all all off script. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm here for it. I'm here for all of it.
It's really
it's what I needed on this fine evening.
Oh,
good. I'm glad.
Oh, okay. So on to our next question. How did you keep in touch with your spirituality and spiritual practices throughout your journey? Because I know that when I was going through like chemo, when I got my diagnosis, it was just hard to stay, you know, kind of on the straight and narrow, so to speak, like with my faith. And I kind of questioned like my spirituality and like God a lot, because, you know, you kind of wonder like, why would God give me this disease? And,
yeah. Well, I'm not, well, first of all, my other group of sisters kind of kept me on board with that. And they were very supportive. We were doing a lot of Zoom calls and stuff like that. But I never blamed God for this. You know, it's a disease. Why me? I never went there, because honestly, cancer was not the worst moment of my life. It was interesting how all the people around me felt about it. But the way I felt about it was totally different. First of all, I never thought that cancer was going to kill me. Never thought that. That was never my thing. I was like, I'm getting over this. This is a blip in the road. My worst moments in life were when I lost my mother. So once again, cancer was just like, okay, I got to deal with this. It was more of a pain in the ass than it was, oh, this is going to kill me. Oh my God, why'd you do this to me? It was none of that. Because I just didn't ever feel like this was like my destiny to die from this thing. And so keeping my spiritual practice together was more about, you know, making sure, you know what? I was probably as much like working with other people, making sure they understood that this was okay and we're going to get through it and all that kind of stuff, as it was anything else. Because I just never thought it was going to kill me.
Yeah, I just think that's like an interesting perspective to look at it. Well, I think mainly because, you know, like being older and like kind of experiencing that is like so much more different than being younger and experiencing that. So I just really think that like your kind of like take and perspective on it is very unique, and I love it.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, and like I said, when you're younger, it's like, oh my God, you know. And here's the funny part: when you get to my age, and you know things happen, you're gonna be looking back and be like, I beat cancer. What you want? I beat cancer. You don't get a job, you be like, I beat cancer. Fuck you. I'm sorry. It puts a lot of things in perspective, doesn't it? Think about it, does it?
No.
It puts it in perspective. It's like, you know, you understand that, you know, there are much bigger issues in life than, oh, I didn't get this role, or, oh, I didn't, you know, I'm not going to be able to direct this film that I wanted, or this producer dropped out and my money's funny. Okay, well, you know, go find another one. Go find another gig. I mean, if this is the choice of your career choice, then you're going to do what you got to do to make it happen. And it doesn't matter. And honestly, if that's the mindset you have, I'm going to do this because this is what I want to do, and I'm going to do it no matter what anybody tells me. Nobody's going to make the decision for you to make this your career, or to keep it being your career, or to move on to something else. You know, and having beat cancer, you can always say, screw y'all, I beat cancer. So you can just kick rocks.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
Mm-hmm. Puts things in perspective, doesn't it, ladies?
It really does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially at a young age. I mean, at a young age, you've been through this, so you already know. And you know, when I found out, I went to the hospital and there was a 70-something-year-old woman there, and she was having her second bout, and she was just like, been there, done that, dealt with it. I'll be all right. And I was like, well, excuse the heck out of me. But her husband was sitting there next to her, and she was just like, yeah, we've been through this already. It's fine. We'll get through it. And I was like,
Hardcore.
No, truly.
hardcore.
Hardcore.
It's like, dang, okay. You know?
That's just wow.
Yeah. And that's why I say, as a younger woman who's been through this, trust me, you're going to have friends later on that are going to go through stuff like this. And you're going to be looking at them and be like, boo, sit down for a minute. Let me help you. Let me help you. And for those of y'all who haven't been through that, you're going to have something in your life that's going to make you be like, oh yeah, I need to remember who the heck I am. And somebody's going to remind you, you went through something. Stop acting like you ain't been through some stuff and came out on the other side. This is nothing, you know, because here's the thing. When it's our time, it's our time. So you got to enjoy this life. You got to do what you want to do. Enjoy this life. You know, try and be kind, be generous, be all those loving things, but enjoy your damn life. Enjoy it. If you're not doing something you love, that was the one thing my mother told me as a young woman, as a child and as a young woman. Do what you like. Do what you enjoy, because there are going to be plenty of times in your life when you can't do what you want to do. And so if you can do what you want to do when you can, especially if you're doing the career you want, if you like acting and you can do it, do it. You know, even if you're doing it in the community theater, do it. You know, that's the thing. Just do it. If you're a musician, a singer, do what you love. Even if you end up not doing it professionally, you don't have to do the arts doesn't have to be your career.
Mhm.
It can be your passion. And if it turns around, because putting money on your art can be heavy. That can be a heavy thing. And it can make you lose the joy of your art. So if you can find a way to do your art, if you find another way to make money and do your art as well, beautiful. If your art is able to support you, beautiful. I used to be a copyright examiner. We have a performing arts division in the copyright office. Every person in that division is a musician. All of them. Okay. Y'all aren't moving, which means
No,
I'm
you still hear me?
Yeah, we're still.
Everybody in there is a musician, and all of them still perform. Some of them have performed for different artists. Some of them have performed on like the 4th of July parade or the 4th of July thing that y'all see every year on TV. Some of them have performed for a different art, just like some of the divas. When certain people come into town, when Yolanda Adams comes into town, you know, there are divas that she calls. Are you free? Can you be my backup singer? So the thing is, if you love the arts, if the arts is your thing, and you end up not being able to get the arts to support you financially, it's okay. Because you can always do the arts. Just because it may not be the thing that's bringing in your paycheck every day, that's okay. If you're an artist, if you're a visual artist and you paint and you're not making any money from it, that's okay. Get another job so you can continue to paint and do what you love. Because here's the thing. You never know when you're going to hit. There's a woman in the Black Panther movie. Okay. That was her first gig, y'all. She retired from a job and decided she just said, hey, let me see if I get, you know, they needed people to come in. They saw her and they were like, okay, we're going to put you in this movie. What the hell? You know, you never know. I'm listening to a guy on Instagram. Same thing. He wanted to be a rocker. He wanted to be a rock star. did not become a rock star. Guess what, y'all? He's in his mid-40s, had his first comedy gig this past weekend. Exactly. I have, I know people who wanted to be artists that are now pastors, and they still love their music, but that's their connection to the divine said, no, you're going to be a pastor. You're not going to be this musician. Forget you. I don't care what you want. And I mean, like, cause them to lose jobs and all kinds of stuff until he did what he needed to do. And then everything else just kind of flowed out of that. So my point is, if you love the arts, do the arts. If the arts aren't the thing that make you your money, don't worry about it. Just continue to do it. Do it for the love of it. Because if you're doing what you love, that's the important thing. That is really the important thing. I design rituals for people. I did a meditation for the event we had the other day.
It was so good.
That's something I enjoy to do. Thank you, because I didn't know. I needed somebody to tell me how it went.
I was over here, I was like,
but it's like, I'm actually going to do them on YouTube. So they're like out there so y'all can actually like go back and hear them. But do the things that you love because you love them. And if some reason they end up making you money, great. And if they don't, great. Just make sure you keep making that paper. That's all. Okay. I'm off my soapbox, y'all. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good, but a word, because I think we all as especially like as college graduates and current college students who are about to go out into the world, i.e. me, I definitely needed to hear that.
Oh yeah. That's the hard part, is making sure you understand that the arts are your love. If the arts are your love, then love it and continue to love it. If you got to become a substitute teacher until you get that one gig, then do that, because I can tell you, being on the other side of that, I have a very good friend. He's gone now. He refused to work. He was that guy. He refused to work. He was very successful early in his career, and he was not successful for probably the last 3 or 4 years of his life. He just wasn't successful. And he had a lot of growing from that. And it was great because he was able to grow from that. And he made some money here and there, but he literally had his father helping him, maintain his career. And it's like, I think he missed a lot of opportunities because he wouldn't do anything else. But, he was able to do that, and he was happy with that. But, he right as he was getting ready to make that next step back into the industry, successfully, he passed. But, that's why I say do what you love, because you never know. He was 36 and he died November 8th of last year, 36 years old. So do something you love, because if you're doing what you love, everything else will just kind of fall in its place. Everything else. Okay, next question. I said I was off my soapbox, and I wasn't, obviously.
What is my next question? My next question is, did your diagnosis convince you to change any aspects of your lifestyle?
No, I still eat way too much. I don't work out enough. And let me see. I actually will admit, I am pretty good about staying on my pill routine, make sure I take all my pills like I'm supposed to. But yeah, I was supposed to start working out and it didn't quite happen. So like, I'm blaming that on COVID, because I could have gone to the gym, but COVID. I'm sorry. I'm a
not blame it on a Rona. That ain't right.
Blaming on the Rona, I guess, I mean, listen, we all have those days.
I said anything that I did wrong in 2020, I'm blaming it on COVID. That's my thing. And you can too. If your parents getting on you about something, tell them that it was COVID. Blame it on COVID. It's COVID's fault.
Okay, that's gonna be my new excuse. Did you do something today? No. Why? COVID.
They'll be like, oh, okay. Oh, I understand. Did you have a moment? Yes, I did. I need some caffeine.
Yeah.
Or some wine or something a little bit harder. You know, those spirit types.
The spirits sometimes are the only thing that help you get through.
They don't call them spirits for no reason, y'all. Yes, anyway, dude, that's another conversation. It's a whole nother conversation.
It's another conversation for another day.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So my next question is, what is some advice that you would give to Black women going through chemo right now / overcoming difficulties?
Okay, particularly for chemo. I'm gonna go grab something because my doctor recommended. I have neuropathy, and it's from the surgery, but it also helped me out a lot in my during my recovery time. And I'm going to go grab it because I want to say, I'm not going to say take it, but what I would say is talk to your doctor about it. Make sure it's something that they feel would be supplemental to your treatment. But outside of that, once again, cancer is not the end. And here's the other thing. There is life after life. That's when you find out how much you believe that shit. I mean, that's when you find out. I already had been there. I had already been there, done that. And like I said, I didn't really think cancer was going to kill me. But if you think, or if you find out that this is your moment, that you stuck in your house, you got to be in there, you're in your bed doing whatever, enjoy yourself, read those books, wear those clothes, put on that lipstick, do whatever. You don't get all this stuff that we get out here in this world. We get all these things and then we just hold on to them. I got a crowd over there sometimes when I feel full of myself or not full of myself. I put that sucker on for that same reason, because I have to remind myself who I am. I am the daughter of Dorothy Wright, Lloyd Burgess, and Leotis Wright. And they did not, and the granddaughter of Almeda Osborne, they did not put me on this planet for me to sit around and be caught up in some BS because I can't control things. What I can control, I will control. What I can't control, I can't control. And I have to let that go. So that's why I say again, enjoy your life. And, anybody that's coming into my life that's trying to bring some shenanigans, be that at work, be that outside. I mean, I don't really hang with people outside that do that. I don't watch TV that, like a lot of the stuff that annoys me on TV, I stopped watching because I was like, why am I sitting up here putting that in me? I don't care about these celebrities that are out here with their TV shows. I don't care about the news. You know what I care about? TikTok videos and YouTube videos and crap like that. Things that make me laugh. I see, kittens and puppies and everything else. I need something that's going to make me smile. In fact, I watched Yearly Departed. It's on Amazon. And they were talking about 2020. Girl, they had female comedians had me crying last night. But that's what for me, I want things that are going to make me smile, that are going to make me happy. I mean, when I saw the Avengers movie, the final Avengers movie, I had a moment when Chadwick Boseman walked on screen. I just had a moment because I was just so proud and so amazed. And I mean, those are the kind of things that I want to feel a lot. And so when I can't get out there and do what I want to do, and I'm kind of stuck at home, I can think back to those moments. And I can say, oh, it was fun when I did this and I did that. And so once again, that's why you definitely have to make sure you keep those moments coming. You make sure that you do everything you can to enjoy this life. I keep going back to that. Enjoy this life. And that's the most important thing you can do for yourself. Out of everything else, if you can enjoy this life, enjoy yourself with what you're doing. Yeah, like I said, you're going to do things, but find a way to find joy in what you're doing. And if you cannot find joy, find something else to do. Because life is short, man. You never know when it's going to just go. And you just, we've lost a diva sister just like that. I was on the phone one day, and the next morning she was gone. So you got to live your life. You got to love it, and you got to live it, and you got to make sure that anything that's coming at you that you can control, that's causing you issues and problems, figure out a way to let it go, because those are the important things. I don't even know if I answered your question. I have a bad habit of going off topic.
I mean, it's okay. You just keep instilling all this wisdom and just speaking truths today, and I really appreciate it. All of my peers on the Talented 10 really appreciate it.
Yes, my favorite one is like, you feeling down, get up, have a drink, beat your face, and move on. Like, that's really like my motto for the rest of my life. That's just me.
And once again, if y'all see Tanya Garnett, let her know that y'all got it from me, but through her, because she was the one that told me to do that. Because and it's a fact. It is a fact. You feel better when you look in the mirror and you see yourself looking like yourself. Because I don't look like myself anymore, y'all. I used to have braids that came down in here. And that was my look. I loved. Hold on. You see this picture right here? That's me for Halloween in probably 2018 or so. Okay. That is the woman that I always wanted to be right there. That was like the moment of me looking like I wanted to look. My hair was long. I had these badass glasses. I'm wearing my black lipstick. I'm like,
yeah,
I'm feeling myself.
Yes.
That's not her now. And it's okay.
She's equally as fabulous.
Thank you. I mean, I need to get rid of this. If I can get rid of this, I'm doing okay. I'm going to go talk to a doctor about that. Hey, don't sleep. If you got the money and you got the inclination to do plastic surgery, once again, does it make you happy? Is it hurting anybody else? What difference do it make? Because I'm sorry, I don't care what nobody says. Cher looks amazing. And if y'all don't think Cher hasn't had some work done, you obviously don't understand how work is done. It's like, that's the whole point. You're not supposed to look like you had work done.
Hey, listen. Yeah, do it. Do what makes you happy.
Exactly. And people will tell you not to do that. It's like, oh, but what about? What about? Because here's the thing. Everybody wants to be happy. And if they can get you to make them happy at your expense, they're okay with that. And what I'm saying to you is, that's not how I'm a server. I'm one of those people. I love doing things for other people. It's one of the things that makes me feel good as a human being. But I do realize that there are times when I need to kind of like get myself together and do for me. So I don't have a problem, but I do have a problem when people take me for granted. And it happens, So I know when to pull back and be like, okay, you obviously don't appreciate what I'm doing for you. And so I'll do it for somebody else. That's fine. But that's why I keep saying, make yourself happy. Do what makes you happy. Don't do it at the expense of other people, but make yourself happy. Do what you do. do what you will as long as you're not out there hurting nobody else. If you have to go get a job doing something else, you're not failing as an artist. There's no need for you to suffer as an artist if you don't want to. You know, if you want to suffer, okay. Because guess what? There's some fun, you know, being young and not having any money and just kind of figuring out how to make it work. I mean, it doesn't, you don't think so, but you know, some of those moments in time, I look back and I think about before, you know, because when I was in college, I had a full-time job and I was in college and I was doing shows. I was stupid. But when I before then, you know, I was working a part-time job. I was getting some money for being in the military. And, you know, I didn't have a lot of money, but I was traveling my ass off whenever I could. I traveled. Yeah, I was busy, but I traveled a lot and you know, I got to talk to people about stuff and see different parts of the world and come to realize that the world is a much bigger place than right here in the DMV and right here in the US. And, you know, when you can go to other parts of the world and see what those folks are going through, trying to just make it, and then we come back here and be like, oh, okay. I may be black, I may be a woman, but I'm here in the United States and I can do whatever the hell I want with that. And there are a lot of people who don't appreciate the the ability that being here, what that allows you to do. It allows you to do things that other black women and other women of color around the world can't do. I mean, I saw a young lady carrying a baby on one hip and carrying dung patties. Did y'all hear that word? Did I say it? Do y'all know what dung patties are?
Elephant.
Dung patties are patties of dung or poop,
From an
usually from
elephant.
cows,
Random animals.
that they use for heating in India.
Oh,
Yeah. So they make them and then they dry them. They sit them out to dry and then they use it for heating and cooking. And I saw a young woman. She had dung patties on her head and she was carrying a baby on her head. And I'm looking at this young girl, probably in her teens or 20s. And I'm looking at her and realizing that that's probably where she was going to be for most of her life, if not all of her life. And that's what she was going to do. Um, anybody who's read Eat, Pray, Love, they talk about a very similar moment in Eat, Pray, Love, where she sees these girls breaking rocks. And, you know, as American women, as Black women in America, if you haven't read Eat, Pray, Love, the other one you want to read is Big Magic, because her book about Big Magic is about the working in the arts. I absolutely recommend both of those books because Eat, Pray, Love kind of puts things in perspective about your relationships. And if you have a Christian bent and you kind of have problems with people who don't read it. But if you can get past that moment and get to the meat of what she's talking about, as far as life is concerned, you know, there's a moment in the book where she talks about women who are in India breaking rocks. That's what they do. That's how they make their money. And I'm thinking about that. It's like, I'm not in India breaking rocks. Elizabeth Gilbert, same woman who wrote Eat, Pray, Love. Elizabeth Gilbert. And Big Magic is about, you know, being an artist and how to make sure she's one of the ones that really talks about doing what you love. And if art is what you love, don't make art have to be your sole income. And if it's able to do that, great. And if it's not, it's okay. Just do it because you love it. Just do it because you love it. So it's a great, both of those books really kind of hit me hard in the heart space. It really kind of went to where I was. And like I said, being a Black woman here in America, after seeing that Indian woman walking around with that dung patties and that baby, I was like, let me come back here and just do whatever the hell I want. And anybody who got a problem with it, they can go over and talk to that one in India, because obviously she needs their opinion more than I do, because I damn sure don't. So yeah, I'm sorry. I know, once again, prattling on, but yes, you know, there's so much in this world that you want to see and do, do it. Do it, do it, do it. I'm literally telling y'all, and some of your parents are probably like, what the hell is she talking about? Screw that, you need a job. But you know what? It's okay. Because what I just tell y'all, all the musicians in the performing arts division, all of them, they're musicians and they still perform. Okay, you teach theater I taught theater at a theater camp. Had a blast. My niece is she's a visual artist. She was at school up in upstate Indiana or someplace up there. I think it was Indiana. And she worked at a college for a couple of years, and now she's going for her master's in California. You know, sometimes you need to kind of stop, get yourself together, figure out what you want to do, and then move on. So yeah, I'm sorry. Once again, did I even answer your question? I need to get better at interviews, I swear.
It's okay. I need to too, but to answer your question, you did answer my question.
Okay.
I just want to do like one last final question. And last question is, how did your diagnosis motivate you to get routine breast screenings?
I was doing it already. And in fact, here's the thing. I found the lump. I just didn't know about it. Okay, so here's the deal, ladies. My cancer was in a spot. I want y'all to kind of like take your hand and put it under your breast and hit right about your rib cage. Okay, where your breast and your rib cage meet, that's where my cancer was.
She froze, but I would have that confused for another bone in my rib cage.
Oh, no.
So close together.
I would have never imagined that you could have like a lump. Like,
I'm gonna.
That's
Okay. Here's the other thing. If you have a significant other, tell them to pay attention when they're touching you, because a lot of people have found their cancer, their spouse has found it, or their significant other has found it because they felt something different. So my lump was like right at my rib cage. And it was, I just thought it was my rib cage. And so when I went to my doctor and I told her, when she found out, and I went to see her, she had an actual intern with her. And I'm very open with my doctor and her intern. So I made it a point to make sure that her intern actually got to feel it, because I couldn't feel the difference, but the doctor was able to describe the difference in the feel between the rib cage and the cancer. And so that's literally where it was and why it was. So it was pretty significant size when they found it. So I was getting a cancer. I was getting mammograms all the time, and they didn't find it. There had been some hints, but they eventually but when they finally got it, it was like, okay, menopause. Once I was like done menopause, this kicked in. And so I'm sure me going through menopause had something to do with it. Like the changes in my body through menopause is what's activated this. But I will also say, if cancer runs in your family, another thing you might want to consider doing is getting genetic testing, because the genetic testing will let you know if you have the genes for cancer. Now, they wanted me to get a genetic test. Okay, now let me help y'all out with this. Okay. My great aunt had breast cancer. She never got surgery. You could see it. Okay. She had breast cancer. She cited something totally different from the breast cancer, even though the doctors were like, it's going to kill you. It didn't. My grandmother had cancer somewhere in the uterus area, somewhere down in there. That's also where my mother had cancer. My uncle has had prostate cancer twice. Okay. And my other uncle just died of pancreatic cancer. So the lady was like, well, don't you want to know family? I don't have any kids. Now, I did go to my sister, though, and I told her to make sure my niece and nephews, because despite what people may think, men can get breast cancer. Okay. So ladies, if y'all have a male spouse, you want to check him too, because if it can happen to them, they can absolutely get it. And a lot of times men will die from breast cancer because they don't know. And they don't get mammograms like we do every year. So it could just mess around and kill them. So you just want to make sure that you're checking yourself. And that goes for your men too. You've got sons, because like I said, I've got 2 nephews and a niece, or 2 nieces. And I've told all of them, it's definitely in my family, it's not on my father's side, it's on my mother's side. But for them, these are my half siblings, it's on their mother's side. So, you definitely want to know. So it's a possibility when you get older, or when you have a point where you're at a point where you have insurance and it's an option. If it's an option, I would definitely recommend checking it out, because if you know that's something that happens in your family, then you can kind of look out for it. That's one of the reasons why those genetic tests are really useful. But I would also, don't forget, insurance companies like knowing things about you so they can know what to cover for you. So you got to kind of balance it out. Yeah, I'm that chick. I'm just like, wait, do y'all? That's why I didn't get to. That's the other reason why I didn't get the genetic test. It's like, okay, so y'all want to pay for me to take this test so y'all can get the results back? Nah, we already know. Y'all don't know, but I know, so I'm not worried about it. Because and I know, because I need to. I've talked to my doctor and I told her, I said, look, this is what my mom died from. This is what my grandmother died from. This is what my great aunt died from, and this is what my uncles had. So this is something we need to constantly look for. It's really that important. So if it's in your family, you might want to consider getting the genetic test, especially if you're going to have children, or if you have children, you might want to, because it's better to be able to have that information in advance so you can prep yourself and you can prep them. So when they get to be your all's ages, they know, okay, you want to start making sure you're doing this yearly because this is in our family. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Yes. Wow. Like I can't remember the last. I need to get my mammogram, make sure I'm straight.
I mean, smash and flash is hard, y'all. It's not easy, and it's gonna be weird when I go get my next one done. Yes, I call it smash and flash. Because I've had, so I've got an implant on this guy where the cancer was. Y'all stop, it ain't that funny. And the other one I just had reconstruction on, so now I have I'm bad. I'm going to be bad. I'm serious. I've got my 20-year-old boobies back, because my 50-year-old boobies were down.
It's the way that just the description of the hands, just like.
No, truly.
I can't. The Swan Suite.
What? The Swan Suite, everybody.
No, I'm gonna tell you, if y'all didn't realize, I'm the one that's gonna keep it real. There are others who are gonna be much more elegant about this. No, I'm breaking this down to brass tacks. I got 20-year-old boobies. They sit up now. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Thank you, y'all. Y'all giving me a reason. Y'all are definitely giving me a good laugh. I'm sorry. I'm laughing at myself. That's really the big deal. That's the other thing. Laugh at yourself, y'all. None of this shit's that serious. It really isn't.
We're truly hilarious. I really enjoyed this interview.
I did.
Perfect.
Technology problems. I'm sorry. It's my fault.
It's okay. It's okay. Because even when the sound went out, we understood by the description.
Yeah, by the hand.
We got the idea.
Yeah, you can tell I'm a hands person. It's like, you're going to know everything I got to say. Yes, hands. Oh, I'm sorry. So did anybody have any questions in the chat? I just noticed that there are people over here chatting. Okay, I got the question about who's the author of Big Magic. Anybody else before we head out? I know I just took over your interview, didn't I? I'm sorry.
Where you gave all of the advice and wisdoms. It was a comedic tech talk rolled into one.
Good. And thank you for your condolences. My uncle had, like I said, my uncle had pancreatic cancer. It was quick. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm okay. I'm gonna give y'all a piece of serious advice, or a moment of seriousness. If cancer comes to your door through a family member, pay attention to that family member and pay attention to the timing of what's going on. Because in my uncle's case, they were getting ready to move to Atlanta. And they were literally planning on moving to Atlanta in October. And then he came up positive. They found out he had cancer and he was gone in a matter of like a month and a half. Sometimes things happen because people don't want you to carry things with you. The way my stepdad passed, we literally went to the hospital to see him. And then we were actually getting ready to move in a brand new house in like a couple of weeks. My mother was going to settlement on a new house. My stepdad had no intentions on being in that house. None. He went in there one time. That was it. He was not going to go into that house at all. And so the day he passed, the night before, he wasn't saying anything. He couldn't talk. And we went in there, we hugged him, kissed him, told him we would see him the next day. He smiled and nodded, and he was gone the next day. He had no intentions on going into that house. My uncle had no intentions on moving to Atlanta. I'm telling you that I don't even need to know. I don't need him to tell me that. I know it in my spirit. This man knew something was going on, and this was like his time. And he was not going to burden his wife with being in Atlanta, trying to deal with his death in Atlanta. So he's gone now. She's still moving to Atlanta. And I am truly one of those people that believes that, we have control over certain things about when we come into this life and when we leave. And I think in his case, he had decided at that moment he was not going to do it. So if things like that happen, understand it's not the person leaving you because they're leaving you, but it's because they know it's their time. And once again, it's, if you believe that there's more to this life than just this life, you're going to see them again. You're going to feel them again. They're going to touch your heart. You're going to see something that's going to make you say, oh yeah, there they go. There they go. So anyway, all right. After I just did the Debbie Downer moment, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Chills.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I really appreciate y'all giving me an opportunity to speak to everybody like this. I really do.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you ever need to talk about, transitioning out of the arts, because that's what happened with me. I was in it, and then I found out I didn't like a lot of artists. I didn't want to deal with them because some of them sucked. So I made some conscious choices, and I may do some other things later that still connect to the industry from a legal perspective, because I don't know, most of y'all know that I'm also a licensed attorney in Maryland. So I'm going to probably do some copyright issues and things like that later, but when I retire. But it's really going to be very low scale, not dealing. I mean, if I happen to end up having somebody who becomes famous, then great. Then I'll move them to somebody else, because a lot of celebrities suck, man. And if you become famous, don't suck, because we will talk about you. I will talk about you and be like, you know what? She was not like that when I talked to her before. I don't know what happened to Alexandria. I don't know. I don't know. She interviewed me. She was great. I loved her. She had great energy. I don't know what happened.
Don't let the money get to your head. That's what
Don't
it sounds like to me.
cause. What they say, the same people you see going up are the same people you can see coming back down. And the thing is, you don't need to be that. You really don't need to be that. You can still be, and I'm not saying, you got to be kind and give everybody your money and all this kind of nonsense, because no, you got to know now. This is a good time now as you're going through your journey to kind of get that under your belt. Who's really for you and who's not? Who's just kind of a hanger on, a ride along, and all that kind of stuff, because you can tell the difference. And if you get a chance to meet some of the more famous of our alumni, I'm sure they probably had a few people that they thought were going to be those people that were going to be with them through the journey, and they found out not so much. So keep an eye out for those folks, and be kind.
Well, thank you so much for imparting your lovely wisdom and your very, very, very hilarious anecdotes and just stories on us. Like, it really just made my day, because I really need I really need a laugh. Like,
Good.
I needed a laugh. I think we all needed a laugh.
Good. Because I do try. I don't necessarily mean to be funny, but I do.
It just happens. I feel you.
Yeah,
It just happens.
it's gotta me. It's gotta me. It's gotta me. Oh, thank you guys. I really appreciate y'all letting me talk to y'all. And once again, if y'all ever need to have a discussion about, changing careers or moving into another career, bring me back, because that's a whole nother topic. On, the cancer journey was the cancer journey. And if any of y'all have any other questions, please just, find one of the sisters that got my number and contact me. Just make sure you tell me who you are, so I know to answer the call, or I know to answer the text. Be like, I don't know who this is. You tell me you're one of my Diva sisters, I'll answer. Well, girl, people would just be showing up in your stuff, and you be like, who is this? I don't know that. I don't know them. Who that?
Who this be? Yes. Well, just to, kind of close it all out, once again, thank you so much for imparting your lovely wisdom onto all of us, all of us youngins, all of us young Black women out here. And just, for sharing your story about your cancer journey with us. It means so much to me, because it really, truly just kind of reminded me how much of like a warrior I was, and how much like, my story matters and it's important.
You always forgot who you were.
You beat cancer. You beat cancer, sis. Hello?
Yes, I beat it. Period. But yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But most importantly, thank you to all of my limers, my sisters. Just thank you so much for coming out and listening to this lovely, beautiful woman just share her story and her life. And for all of our listeners, thank you for stopping by to the Swan Suite. And most importantly,
Thank you.
on the Sweet Bird.